Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is among one of the worst episodes of a cartoon that I have ever seen. No, scratch that. One of the worst episodes of a TV show that I've ever seen. This is proof that it can always get worse, and that we should count every single blessing we have. Remember when it was Nickelodeon's most interesting cartoon filled with good jokes and funny, relatable characters? Since Steven Hillenburg left the show has fallen downhill and has dropped about 10,000 feet per second in quality since the first movie. Whether you can deny it or not, Season 4 of SpongeBob didn't feel like the first 3 seasons. At all. While there are some good episodes in the season, this one has completely overwritten any kind of good qualities the season previously had, or will have for the rest of its runtime. Introducing Good Neighbors. An episode that spits in the face of the former fans of the show, and tries to gaslight you into thinking what you perceive as being the right people to root for is actually the wrong thing. Other SpongeBob episodes post-movie do this constantly. I was gonna cover the episode New Leaf, as it's another episode of the SpongeBob writers slapping the audience in the face, but I decided to instead cover the episode I'm covering today because of one standout reason. That reason being that it does one of the worst things that you can do when telling a story, and that is telling the audience that they're wrong, and that they should rethink their lives for being that way. Okay, I'm stalling. Let's actually get into this shit. The episode begins with shots of SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward all sleeping. As soon as Squidward wakes up, SpongeBob, like a stalker would do, appears by his bed to tell him he's going to be late for work. However, SpongeBob corrects him by telling him that he doesn't work on Sunday, despite previous episodes suggesting that Squidward doesn't get Sundays off. If I keep pointing out the continuity errors, we won't get anywhere, so let's just move on. SpongeBob, in an act of stupidity, tries to get Squidward his Sunday paper. This 30-second scene of filler is totally pointless, and we're not even 3 minutes into the episode. This is evidence that the modern SpongeBob writers do not know, or don't care to know, how to properly write a coherent plot that lasts 11 minutes. Call me a nitpicker all you fucking want. It's an actual criticism of the fucking show here. Then we see Squidward planning out on what he's gonna do on this nice Sunday. Also, they can make it more insulting when he gets reprimanded for wanting to have one. Then we see SpongeBob and Patrick appear with cult hats. This was intended for children, right? Who in their right fucking mind thought it was a good idea to put occult symbolism in a fucking kid's show? You know what? I don't even want to know. I'll just roll with it because we can get done with this episode faster. Squidward, in a desperate attempt to get those demons out of his house, tells him to paint the trees in Bikini Bottom polka dots. Polka dots are not a color, they're a pattern. But then again, I don't expect these writers to know the basic fundamentals of art, let alone basics of anything that requires a functioning fucking brain. Anyways, SpongeBob and Patrick proceed to paint all over the place polka dots. This scene is totally pointless. Then because this show hates its audience, SpongeBob accidentally sprays paint into Squidward's face. Then we see an overly long scene of Squidward suffering. Did you find that scene funny? Shame on you! This is part of the fucking problem I'm trying to get across. Squidward is taken away by some fish that think he's sick, and when he gets back, we see that SpongeBob and Patrick take away Squidward's foot massage that was established earlier in the episode. I have no words. Someone please tell me how in the fuck any of this is meant to be funny, clever, witty, charming, or anything but cruel and fucking disgusting. All Squidward wants to do is have a good Sunday. And yet the world of Bikini Bottom thinks Squidward ran over baby snails or something. This is what I mean when I said the writers are constantly slapping you in the face. The writers think you're stupid. This set of events leads to Squidward snapping at SpongeBob and Patrick. You know, I would call this being spirited, but these two monsters actually fucking deserved it. Tormenting your neighbor when all he wants is a day to his own. After Squidward checks his newspaper, something SpongeBob brought him, through sheer coincidence, he finds a security system, and he laughs maniacally. The writers are still trying to tell the audience that Squidward, despite all the shit he went through, is still the bad guy in this episode. No! You cannot do that! It's backhanded, and on top of it all, it's fucking distracting. In this episode, Squidward got tormented all because he wanted to relax on a Sunday, and yet the writers think that makes you the villain of this story. We then cut to Squidward installing the security system in his house, and even though these two fuckers are the living embodiment of evil, the security system doesn't detect them as a threat, because of course it doesn't. It instead detects Squidward as being a threat, because of course. And SpongeBob messes up the security system with the completely uncoincidental cake he was going to give Squidward because, well, the writers think you're stupid, that's why. Then Squidward's house turns into a robot, and then proceeds to quick Squidward out and torture Bikini Bottom. I think the writers have just given up, because they decided to throw all realistic logic and all the rules it's established previously into the garbage. The torment of Squidward has to be so fucking forced that the SpongeBob writers will really completely throw out any fucking logic, consistency, quality, or fan sanity, all to torment a character that doesn't fucking deserve it! Then we see a boring sequence of the two demons that causes bullshit trying to fix things. And they do it by squashing Squidward, who still hasn't done any fucking thing to deserve this level of abuse. Then, because Squidward apparently deserves another kick in his emotional crotch, the mayor of Bikini Bottom gives him a warrant to clean up Bikini Bottom for every Sunday of the rest of his life. This episode hurt to get through. It's an episode that slapped me in the face with its dick. A shitty plot with noticeable filler, characters that are insufferable to a character that just want to relax for a day, and telling the audience that they are morons for watching this trite shit. But with the wide backlash and every single sane person on the internet telling me it's awful, it had to put the nail in the show's coffin, right? How? No, tell me. Someone just tell me. How in the fuck is this possible? It's not possible. Are people really this fucking stupid? Or am I just going fucking crazy? Maybe I've died and gone to hell, because this is what I fucking expect. Pandering bullshit. Exposing them to infected splinters, driving their favorite characters to suicide, rehashing the most heinous stories ever told. Sanding down any quality that manages to slip through under their watch. They put kids first. You wouldn't be any more insulting if you spit in my face after slaughtering my dog in front of it. Even a cursory look will review this bullshit life for what it is. You are blind and stupid if you believe this. No, I'm gonna go on. When the dog shits on the carpet, you rub their noses in it and tell them what they did wrong. If any of the shit is putting kids first, I'd hate to think how kids are under your care. Nickelodeon is one of the worst fucking companies in existence. Maybe because that's Viacom, maybe it isn't. I don't fucking care. This almost makes me feel what I'm doing is completely in vain. Yeah, I know I'm not going to break through the thick skulls of people like
name and address withheld.
But it's the kind of moment that makes me realize that I've been shouting at a hurricane this whole time. I could yell and scream as loud as possible, and it won't make a fucking difference. Nick is going to keep making these atrocities and keep making them worse. There are good shows out there for your kids to watch. There is no fucking excuse for a parent to show their kids this shit. I fear for your kids when they grow up if they do, because they could end up either becoming dumb as fuck or being full-on fucking psychopaths. I'm done. Fuck this episode.
Was my home. All this pain and devastation, how it tortures me inside. All the innocent who suffer from your stubbornness and pride.